Hi everyone. So today I want to show you guys my Tactacam 5.0 FTS and some of the things that I've had to do to it to get it working properly, as well as maybe my general overall impressions of it. When I got this, it was a kit that had the 5.0 along with the extra battery and the FTS. Right off the bat, one of the batteries would take a extremely long time to charge, and I believe it doesn't keep a full charge. The other battery was fine. I didn't do anything about that. I didn't contact support to get that fixed or anything like that, or return the item. I was just eager to use it. So when I was using it, and some other people have encountered this on YouTube, I noticed that there was a bunch of centering problems. And let me see if I can show you what I mean by centering. So I'm going to turn on the Wi-Fi here. So okay, did that wrong. So let's turn it on here on my phone. Let's see, okay, so when you turn it on, it'll start recording immediately. You'll see the green light blinking, and you can't see that from your angle. Let's see if I can show that this way. All right, the green light is blinking. So that means it's recording. We press it once to stop the recording, and then we hold the smaller button, the mode button, for approximately 5 seconds. The Wi-Fi turns on, and then on your device you would see a Tactacam 5.0 Wi-Fi signal, and you would connect to it on your phone. So right here I'm connecting to Tactacam 5.0, and it'll say no internet, which is normal because it's not going to have internet access through that. And then you turn on your Tactacam Connect app, and then you just you will have to pair it first, but well, not pairing like Bluetooth, but set it up, and then we just connect, and it'll take a few seconds to connect here, and if you control, you'll see it live. So right now, this scope cam's off. I mean, cap's on. The side picture is okay right now, but when it came out of the box, what happened was there's a big shadow around here, and it depends. The shadow depends on the particular scope you're using too. But there was a big shadow here, and so you couldn't see the full side picture. I had to do some modifications to this system to get it perfectly aligned. And so I've troubleshooted what the problem was, and I'll leave that here, and maybe make it go sideways and zoom out, and so we can see a full side picture. Let me see if I can show a flashlight through here to get a more bright picture, so we can see that. Okay. Right, so that's a flashlight through the scope lens. And so you see a full side picture, 360. So let me show you what I did to address the shadow problem initially, right? So if I take this off, so there's a bunch of problems with it, and this all has to do with centering the camera and the lens. So come on. So the first thing I did was this camera, so this camera here is smaller than this hole here, right, where it goes. So in order for you to have it centered, you have to put a layer of electrical tape around here, and make sure it don't stick out from the front. So that way this fits as snugly as possible into this hole without having to without having it loose, and obviously it has to fit. And what this will do is when this clamps down to get it tightening the screw, it will stay centered on the lens here. What's going on is this piece, right, is part of the whole piece here, but is a cutout. And this cutout allows it to clamp. And what happens when you clamp is this side gets shorter because this side is detached from the body of it. but this other side is not detached. So when you clamp it, this is pushing the lens, the camera going that way. And so it goes off center. So that's problem number one. So having the electrical tape here and making it fit really, really snug fixes some of the problem. Now, the camera's freaking out on me right now. Let me turn it off. Okay, so turn it off. Let me put this back on. And then turn it back on here. Okay, I'll show you the next problem after I get this turned back on here. Hopefully the camera's no longer tweaking on me here. Okay, Tactacam Connect 5.0 connect. Control. And this battery that I said was bad is already what's going on here? Did I just break the camera completely? It's still tweaking out on me. Oh, okay. I think it's the tweaking out is because of the LED light here on the that I have. Okay. So, all right. So I'm gonna turn this back first and get this part back where it was. Okay. So. Let's see if I can shine it back. Okay, there we go. All right. So full side picture, you can see that here. So the next part is actually to do the same thing on the body that connects to your scope, right? So let me flip this around here. And let me take this out. Tighten this pretty down, darn tight. Okay. So I essentially did the same thing here. Oh boy. I really torqued this down. I did not want any chance of this coming loose. Okay, let me take it out real quick. All right, so it's loose. All right, so there's two pieces. One is the same concept. I want this insert to be perfectly centered as well. And so I also added electrical tape here. And this squeezed out from the gap there. And so this helps this piece to be perfectly centered onto this. Now I could possibly use a different insert, but that different insert doesn't fit properly on my scope. So that halfway made it work. So let me take out the other piece. Okay, and I'll talk about the other piece once I get it set up again. And I just did this like a few moments ago. So I put this back here, and I put it back into my scope. There will still be a scope shadow. Let's see. Here to the light. And it's not apparent until you tighten this down. So once I tighten this down, the shadow will be much more apparent. So let me tighten it down real quick here. one thing I don't like about this is that they put the screws in the wrong direction. You have to go upwards on it, and so it's really annoying to actually adjust. So right now it doesn't actually look that bad. What does it? Let's see. Okay, so I think you could tell. Yeah. You notice I can't get a full sight picture on the camera here. See the bottom right now, no matter how I point this, we'll always have that little shadow. Let me see if I can point this someplace else instead of at the light. Right, you see that? It's not a full circle here. You see the bottom, there's some chromatic aberration, right? That is caused by the scope shadow that I'm talking about, right? So it's not a full sight picture. So let me take it off again. I do need a better work area. I don't think this is very tight here. Okay, loosening this up. All right, take it out. Okay, so what I just did now was I actually put electrical tape right here at the bottom edge, just over there, and that portion of it, right, is close to the camera side. And the reason I'm doing that is because of, again, as you tighten this portion here, it'll push everything towards that way because it's tightened on this side and not on that side, right? So it's pushing everything that way. And so you need to compensate for that by putting something on this side, shim it, so that way it stays centered. And not only that, but mine is also, I believe, it's not just centered, but it's not straight on, right? So it has to have some tilt to it, like tilt it this way a little bit in order for it to have the correct sight picture. So I'm putting electrical tape here on the bottom, and this will compensate for that. And this is 3 layers of electrical tape, so depending on how much compensation yours need, you'll have to put more or less. So the electrical tape is in there. Let's see if you can see that. Right, so you see that electrical tape here? Yeah, right there, that piece. Yep. Okay, so that's where I put it, and it's only a 1 inch by 1 inch strip. So now that I put that in there, let us put this back together. So I need to take this out because putting this into the scope first actually makes it harder to put in because it'll push the electrical tape around and it'll mess it up. So now I put this in here. See if we can see that. Okay, and making sure that the electrical tape is not being crushed and messed up. Okay, now I'm going to put this back in here. And push it all the way in as much as it'll go. And make sure that we're aligned. The vertical is horizontal. And that does bother me if it's not horizontal. So now we're going to tighten this. And you can tell as you're tightening it, right, without the modification, you'll see the scope shadow starts creeping. And that's because as you're torquing it down, it's pushing your scope towards one side, making it off-center. So let's see. And right now it's not doing that, so we have it fixed. I have a hunting trip coming up that I'm using this for, and I want to make sure it's the absolute best quality. So now if you look here, right, doesn't look like it yet, but if I point this to some place where it'll show a full sight picture, then you'll be able to see the difference. Let's see if I can point someplace bright enough. Right, so let's see if we go this way. Just went off. Okay. All right. So that's the full sight picture. You can see that it is no longer having the shadow around. So that is good to go. Now, I don't have any place I can show a really good photo of this, but here I think that's as good as you're gonna get. But that's the full scope picture. And so that's how you fix your FTS if you have this centering problem like I do. And I know more than a few folks have this problem. All right, thank you.